It's recording. Okay. Hi, my name is Mary, and you are watching the Life of Mary podcast, where you will be hopefully getting a podcast with one of my friends, hopefully once a month. If you want to become one of my guests, please check me out on Twitter at Mary20S23. It's also in the bio, or my email at mary.lauren.1919@gmail.com if you want to be a guest. Today's guest is one of my friends. Today's guest is one of my friends from Twitter, Miss Emily Mack. Her Twitter tag will be in the bio, so if you want to follow Emily there, please do. You can check her out there at and then Rachel Z. How are you doing, Emily?
Hi, I'm good, Mary. Thanks for having me on today. It's a pleasure connecting with you, and I'm so excited that we get to have a nice chat about all things Packers and life and, just the good stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm doing good for Friday. Happy the week is over, and, looking forward to a nice weekend ahead. So, no complaints.
So, can you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Again, my name's Emily. I am 36 years old, and I am a Wisconsin native, born and raised in Milwaukee. I currently live in Central Florida, just kind of changing things up in my career, and used to live here after college, so I'm no stranger to this crazy state and all of its quirks and heat and humidity. I'm a born and raised Wisconsin sports fanatic, so I'd say Packers are one of my favorite things on earth, but I have been on Twitter since 2008. I was just, explaining with Mary, actually started in college during a PR class. We had to kind of make a profile for ourselves and get to know the advertising industry and read different articles and start, banter on that. And then I kind of took a hiatus, and a couple years later decided, I still had the handle, and I wanted to make it more about myself, and kind of turned into a Packer fan page. Love sharing stuff about my interest in music and cooking, and just kind of show the goofier side of me. So that's kind of my 2 cents about who I am and why I'm here today.
I think most of us are like that.
Yeah.
Most of us are Packer fans. Like the ones that we both follow, I know, are most Packer fans.
Yeah, and Twitter's awesome because there's such a robust Packer community. People from all ages, walks of life, long-term Packer fans, new fans, their kids. I mean, it's such a great resource and kind of an outlet just to discuss the team and, share our passion. It's always fun seeing people, offer their 2 cents, their opinions, and then before and after games. I mean, this is pretty much the best time of year for Twitter, too, for
sure.
NFL
like
season.
Football. Yeah. Like
Oh,
football
yeah.
season. Yeah, for sports season.
Mm-hmm.
What is a podcast that you would like to go on and why?
I think first and foremost, I really love the Pack a Day podcast. That's Andy Herman's podcast. It has a really good energy. They're always talking stats and kind of getting into the real nitty gritty about the Packers, good analysis space. And another one I started recently following on Twitter is hosted and managed by Janet Wilson. And she's just an excellent, fun follow. I love her energy and personality. So she just started the She's All That podcast, and the She's All That, and they were yesterday with the superlatives, and we'll get into that. I mean, just anytime there's someone that, is bringing people together, and, I just love that. I recently was on the Big Cheese Sports podcast right before the Packers Saints game, and it was really interesting. It's Steve Kaplan, it's Carrie _ or Army _ Strong 06, and then Bernie Bango, and we discussed analysis and thoughts about the game with a Saints fan. So we were kind of just going back and forth, and that was kind of fun. Just we kept it simple. We talked our thoughts and whatnot, but There's some really good podcasts out there, so I apologize if I'm leaving out some really great ones. Pack a Day is another really good one I mentioned, so I'm open. I listen to a lot of them.
That's a good one. Tom Grossi is one of my favorites, personally.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think the thing is with him is I actually met him during his 30 and 30 event in
That's
Tampa.
great.
That's what my Twitter profile actually is me meeting Tom in Tampa at the event.
Cool.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I think we had.
What did you enjoy about it?
Just meeting a lot of fans from different teams. I think we almost had every single team there at that event. And it was actually Johnny Park's birthday, which is Tom Grossi's editor. So if you guys watch the Tom Grossi Tampa 30 and 30 video, you guys will hear us singing happy birthday to Johnny Parks. And we did not know it was Johnny Parks till the day of his birthday. So it was just fun.
Really cool.
Meeting everyone is great.
Anytime you're able to make connections like that in person, those are great memories.
And I've realized we actually have a lot of Packer fans in the state of Florida. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I live near someone, and there's a lot of people that drive golf carts around here.
Right.
And theirs is green and gold and has a gigantic cheese head on top of it. So you can see it a mile away when it's driving.
Yeah.
You know, it's really neat to see Packer community well represented down in the state.
Mm-hmm. What is one thing you would like about yourself?
I'd say I have a really big heart, and a big heart and a sweet soul. I really like, spreading positivity and trying to look for the best and the good in people, and I like to share that side of me that, wants to be positive and make others smile. So I think that kind of sums me up.
So what are some of the craziest alligator moments that you've seen or heard of because you've I know there's a lot of them out there.
It's true. It's actually kind of funny how since living down here, that's become kind of a part of, I think, not my personality, but it's kind of my new favorite character trait is a lot of my friends now associate me with alligators. I'm a huge animal lover anyway, so they abound. Now's the time of year they start kind of coming out of their ponds and marshes because it's a little bit cooler. But when I got down here, I think it was in June, I was taking one of my trail walks, and I look, and I know they're nearby. And there's this one guy, and he must have been about 8 or 9 feet long. He's just sitting off the surface of the lake near these weeds and stuff. And he just has his jaw wide open, and he's just sunning himself. And I stop, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. And I'm walking with my mom.
Yeah.
And she takes a look, and she does not run. She sprints, she books it. Like, get away from that thing. And I'm like, I named him Giuseppe because I said, I'm going to treat him with respect, and then if he gets weird, I'm going to run. And then, well, that's funny. So I always know when I'm walking around, I like to see if they're out and about, keep my distance, of course. But one of the funniest things I've done is, I don't know if you've heard of the whole Florida Man thing.
Yep.
And I was told a while back, you can Google Florida Man and your birthday. Yep. And you'll see the stories that come up. Yep. And my favorite was the Florida Man in Daytona Beach area was intoxicated and or whatever, and he stole a live gator and tried to throw it on the roof of a country club's cocktail lounge.
Okay.
I don't think I need to say anything more than that, but just leave them alone. They'll leave you alone, hopefully, and don't try to steal one and don't try to throw it because that's just not nice. You're gonna get a lot of trouble for that. I think he wasn't harmed, but
don't try to pet
Florida Man.
Don't try to pet them.
Don't pet them.
Not try to pet them.
Even I won't.
They will probably bite you. What is your Packer story? I feel like everyone has a good Packer story.
Yeah. Since I was a little kid, I grew in and up with not just my immediate, but my whole extended family, especially my mom's side. She's one of 7 brothers and sisters, and all are die-hard Packer fans. So I was fortunate enough to grow up with some cousins, and we get together, big Italian family, for the weekends, and on Sunday we go to my aunt and uncle's house, or even just hanging at my folks' house, watch the games, and I just got sucked into NFL football period.
I feel like that's like most of us from Wisconsin. It's like we grew up with it.
It's your kind of rite of passage.
Yeah.
So I became hooked, and I remember going to one of those sports stores. I forget who it was, but I got my first jersey, and I chose a Don Beebe jersey, which is I like the wide receivers and the tight ends and the offense, but I'll never forget that. And I don't know whatever happened to it, but since then, I've been blessed to go to Lambeau several times, and I really got passionate about learning about the team's history, and it's really kind of a story from there.
So because you liked wide receivers, who was your favorite wide receiver growing up? Like, obviously we had Adams, Nelson, Sharp, Dobbs, Chris, Watson, and Reed, and Torrey, and Watkins.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your favorite growing up?
Man, ever since he was on the team, I've always been a huge Jordy Nelson fan.
Yeah.
Through and through. I just admire his talent. He was always such a role model. Big family man, just someone that I think brought a whole sense of genuine goodness to the team and beyond. So, plus when you'd see him catching balls from Rodgers and just sprinting down to the end zone, I loved him. So, definitely my favorite.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite song/music genre? I know for a lot of Packer fans, it's like I love my Green Bay Packers and the Bears Still Suck song, obviously. So, those are just great ones.
Well, I mean, those two are my definite, they're up there. I think besides all of the great Packers-inspired music, I am kind of an old soul. I love rock and jazz and things, but I'd say my favorite, I like classic rock, growing up listening to my dad's vinyls on the record player, and, getting into bands like, Leonard Skinner and, Steely Dan, stuff like that. But I think 2 of my favorite rock bands are Foo Fighters and I love Muse. So just those artists and bands that have high energy and great songwriting skills. I've been fortunate to see Muse several times live. Foo Fighters I have not, but I'm a big Dave Grohl fan, so if I hear Times Like These, that's one of my favorite songs.
That's cool. What is one of your favorite colors? I know you have multiple of them from just talking to you.
For me, it's blue. I think I've been born ever since I was little. Anything blue, light blues, ocean blues, just kind of that calming factor. Definitely not Chicago Bears blue. That's out of the question. Yeah. And I love. Yeah. I can roll with that. But no. But I also love green, which is appropriate.
Yeah.
Like emerald green, jewel tone greens. I'm a big nature person, so going outside and seeing fresh greenery, trees, that makes me happy. So, and plus, Lambeau Field, the green of the field itself, just good feelings. Legends.
Speaking of, not yet. What is your favorite second NFL football team, if you have one, and why is it that team? I know most of us just love the Green Bay Packers.
And I'm right there with them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in honesty, it's, I can respect other teams, but I've never felt a pull to actively vouch for anyone.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun living here where local news will highlight Tampa Bay or Jacksonville, and I said, that's great.
Yeah.
And I just leave it at that. I said, that's fine, but my loyalty is, and always has been, Green Bay.
I mean, when we play the Buccaneers soon, it's going to be Packers and Bucks, so.
I know, that's true. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. So, stop hearing all the Buccaneers fans.
Right.
Who is your favorite current and retired Packer player? No quarterbacks, please. Like, no Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre.
No problem. I have to start with the retired or previous. It's very much a tie between Laurie Butler and Donald Driver. I've had the pleasure to have both met and worked with both of them.
Oh, wow.
And I'd say they are just two down to earth people that have big hearts and are so friendly and inviting. I used to work for a luxury hotel back in Milwaukee, and I helped manage large scale events like black tie galas.
Oh, wow.
And one of my favorite events was the annual Vince Lombardi Foundation black tie gala.
Oh.
And I worked with Donald Driver, he and his wife, and Michael Strahan was there. They were hosting it, so I had to, do my due diligence to make sure everything was set up behind the scenes. And Donald was so kind to me. I will say though, I think he cut me some slack. I don't think he remembers, but the first time I ever met him was downtown Milwaukee, not at work, and he was doing some type of kind of flash mob type. I forget what it was, like a little gathering in the local park. So my girlfriend and I go, we're like, let's go see what's going on. And they do their thing, and he's right in the crowd, and he's shaking people's hands, saying hi. And I look him in the eye, and I'm like, first of all, his teeth blinded me, and his smile.
Right.
And of all things, I just froze up, and I said, I loved you on Dancing with the Stars. I can't even, I won't let myself live that down, but I think he put that behind us. So
who's your current?
So fun. Current is Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
Hands down. I love his energy. I love his personality. He's unabashedly himself, and he's super talented. And you can tell how much he loves the game and he loves his role on the team. I mean, he knows it through and through, and just see his passion and his excitement. I mean, if you're excited about something, chances are you're excel at it or do your best to excel at it. So, plus, I'm kind of like him. I'm a little nerdy. I love space. I mean, UFOs, aliens. I can chat about that. But it's so cool. He just has a nice, I think he brings a lot of positivity and kind of fun to the team. I can see that.
So, let's say Jair stops Justin Jefferson. Do you think the Gritty will come out again?
You know what? I hope so. I'm for it. I'm just fine with it. But I'm really excited to see him. Word on the street is he's ready to play on Monday with the Raiders. So we've got an interesting matchup there.
I'll take
it too.
Devontae versus Jair. That'd be fun.
It would be great.
What are you the most passionate about?
One of my favorite hobbies since I was little is art. So I love to draw. Love to draw and paint. So I do a lot of stuff in my spare time. And I've painted Aaron Rodgers, other Packers players. I like to sketch. So I'm working on a Rashawn Gary drawing. I hope to finish tonight. He's inspired me, but there's something therapeutic about getting your sketchbook out and bringing something to life. I like drawing landscapes, people's dogs. I've had fun with some of my friends on Twitter, just saying, "Can I draw your dog for you?" And send old-fashioned snail mail. So it brings me joy. I love doing it.
So, if you ever get a chance, would you like to work on the fence by Lambeau Field, the famous one?
Oh, that would be an honor. even just one piece.
Yeah.
Just do my own little
little
doodle.
little section of it.
I would love to. I always enjoy it. Mm-hmm.
So, I know you already touched on this one, but if you could have a conversation with any Packer player or celebrity, would it be, and why that person?
Hands down, Vince Lombardi himself. I just love to pick his brain.
Yeah. I would love to pick his brain about, today's Packers and, Aaron Rodgers.
so exciting.
What are your thoughts about the Packers 50s uniforms? Like the dark green and the gold. I know a lot of people do not like them.
I'm a huge fan just because the contrast of the dark greens and the yellow, they pop, and I think it also, with the time period, it reflects the rich history that Lambeau had. I mean, Lambeau Field opened in September of
1919.
yeah. So and just thinking about, as things evolved, how much joy we put into how we represented everything. They're just great. I'm a big fan, but they could be out there wearing paper bags, and I'd still be trying to buy. So
a lot of people want them to wear like full yellow jerseys with like cheese holes, like a cheese head. That'd be fun. Like
that would be some fun.
So it would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
What game do you think we will wear those? Speaking of which, because we're supposed to be wearing them this year. I heard. Don't know if that's true.
I don't know. I kind of think maybe the Tampa Bay game, but maybe they push it a little bit later into
maybe Chiefs.
Yeah, that would be my second thought, is the Chiefs have it be a really powerful statement in game.
Rivalries once again.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is a message that you would want to share? What is a message that you would want to tell the whole world? If you could have one message.
I'd say if you find something that lights you up, or you have interest in, don't give up on it. And the chances are whatever light you have that you spark is going to lighten up someone else's life. So that can be an action you're doing, or even an act of kindness, or your ability to make other people happy. It's you have that spark, but it's worth sharing with others, because I think there's a domino effect from that.
I love that message. That's really good. What is the one piece of advice you would say to other people that are struggling with mental health or in general health? Speaking of mental health, Emily and I were just talking about that on Twitter. I do something called Positivity and Thankful Fridays. Well, Sundays, Mondays, whatever.
Yeah.
That just brings up to that. It's kind of funny.
My biggest thing is, as someone who this hits home, especially to me, is just to really express that you're not alone, and not to be afraid to ask for help. We all live very different lives, a lot of ups and downs, like a roller coaster. And, sometimes when the valleys get really deep and things get heavy, it's knowing that you are truly not alone. There's people that have your back, or there's people you can reach out to. And I think the ability to communicate that helps release some of that weight. And knowing you have a network of love and support, that power can help you do anything. So it's keeping that faith to yourself, and also knowing you have the power to love yourself. And if you feel like things are hard, look out, because chances are someone's there to encourage you.
So, I have question 18. How do you think of all your amazing tweets, like the alerts that past several days that you have posted? Like the ones where you perfectly put on Twitter that says, the Chicago Bears have never won a game since October 24th, 2022. That no longer is in effect. And also, where you wrote, the Green Bay Packers are going to run the table with Jordan Love while firing current defensive coordinator Joe Barry. No action is required. So you don't realize this, Emily, but I get sent those whenever you post those.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Justin sends them to me on Twitter.
Oh, that's great. Like I said, when I took my page over from myself to myself, I really have fun expressing my personality. That's kind of out there. It's kind of a mix of just creativity and a little bit of sharp wit. I get that from my grandfather. And sometimes I just have these thoughts that pop up, and I'm like, I kind of find that funny, or maybe that'll, someone will take interest in that. We could chat about something. So the other day when the national test alert was going off, I saw somebody on Twitter had done like used a meme template, and it was like about something happening to them that day, like chances of getting a coffee, blah blah blah. And my head goes straight to the Packers. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
well, what is there a chance of? And do not. The best was like no action required. So I
Yeah.
thought about, there's
Right.
been a lot of big topics in the Packer world. Between Joe Barry and Young Teen, you name it. So I just kind of thought about it, and it was really fun just seeing people react and connect over it. And if I can make someone laugh, my work is done. That's not even work.
You definitely have. So, what do you I know we kind of already talked about this, but what do you personally think of the NFL draft coming to Green Bay, Wisconsin in 2025? I know it's going to be huge, but
it's huge. It's great.
Places.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful that Green Bay again as a storied town is going to have all the attention and eyes on it, and it's so great to spotlight again the rich history, and then just all the impact from cultural stance to even the economic impact. Seeing people travel from around the world to come to Wisconsin and explore everything around it. People's maybe first time ever going to Lambeau Field, and it's not just the draft itself. There's all those activities and things, and it's going to be so great to have that in the light of Green Bay and the Packers. It's going to be really cool seeing all that anticipation build up too until it happens.
Okay, I know we already talked about this. This might be the same as the Packer question. Can you please explain to the audience how you became a Milwaukee Bucks and a Milwaukee Brewers fan? I know you said you're from Wisconsin, but I didn't know if there was a different reason. Is it just the Wisconsin?
Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, born and raised, lived in Milwaukee for a while. I think if I had to rank my loves of my teams, Packers at the top, Bucks are right there. Brewers, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest baseball fan. I've been to Miller Park, AmFam Field, whatever you want to call it now, countless times.
Yeah.
But I think the Bucks I really fell in love with in high school, even when we were not doing much. We had Brett Favre and all sorts of things at the Packers, but the Bucks are really important to me. I got really into them more so a couple years ago, and I was right outside Pfizer Forum the night that we won the championship. So not inside, but I was with thousands and thousands of people right outside. They had huge theater-style screens on either side of the Deer District. And I was there with people, again, all walks of life, their kids, didn't matter who you were. It was electrifying, and that moment seeing the Bucks win, I will never forget that. So I'm excited for the Bucks. Whatever they do, they've made some huge moves with Dame being signed, and I know they're coming to Orlando next month to play the Magic. So I would really love to go see a game down here.
That'd be fun. What is the one thing that a lot of people do not know about you that you want them to know?
I have a couple college degrees, but one of my favorites is I have a minor degree in dance.
Really? I didn't know that.
I have danced for over 25 years, and I've been blessed to have been in competitive dance. I've danced all across the country. I used to work for Disney World when I was in entertainment.
I didn't know anything.
So I got to do the Christmas show down here in Orlando with Mariah Carey back when she was pregnant with her twins.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then I kind of evolved my dance career to teaching. So I've taught ballroom dance to junior high school middle school students, and then into high school. I don't do as much with it lately, but it's always something I love, and hopefully can reintegrate in my life in some respect, whether it's teaching or just taking a class here or there. Dancing is one of my favorite things ever.
So I hate to discuss it, but we have to eventually. What are your thoughts about the David Bakhtiari injury? Do you think he will play again this season or come back after the IR period is over? He's currently on IR for 4 weeks, I believe.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate news. It's something you don't want to hear about any player, but someone that is truly one of the only long-standing vets on our team, a true leader, if you will. Having his physical presence on the field is so impactful, and it sucks to learn, if the injury is more serious than we thought. I don't think he's done for good. I think after IR, he'll still be on. I think he'll play another season. Just my opinion. I don't think he'll walk away. And I know he's kind of like Jair. You can see he loves the team and will do what he can. So any rumors discrediting that, I never aligned myself with. I said he needs to take care of himself, but I don't think he's going anywhere.
Do you think the team will be the Packers again? Do you think it would be like in the Aaron Rodgers situation where he gets traded to the Jets as well? Because I know Aaron wants David with the Jets.
I've seen that, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to continue to root himself in Green Bay. Yep, I agree.
It seems like his family loves Green Bay anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your dream job? I know you said possibly dancing again. Or it could be writing with the Packers or something.
Hey, if I could do marketing for the Packers, that would be awesome. Again, if I were to combine some things, it'd be great to be a full-time artist in some respect, but my background is heavily in marketing and event management, so if I could do that for Green Bay in some way, shape, or form, I'd love that.
Yeah.
But if I were to totally switch it up, like I said, I'm a space and weather nerd, so somehow I became a well-known, well-respected storm chaser, I would totally flip the table and say, I'm gonna go for it. Why not?
So speaking of Jair Alexander, actually, what are your thoughts about Davante Adams calling Jair Alexander a monster? Davante Adams said yesterday, on Thursday, October 5th, that Adams didn't create a monster, but Jair definitely turned into one.
I think there's a hint of slyness behind that. And, I think Tay's having a little bit of fun with his words. I think there's some things not to be taken too literally, but, they're what they've offered in their pressers this week has been a little interesting. We've been just teetering on, I respect the Packers.
Yeah.
Jair's saying he wants to match up against Tay. I mean, I think that itself is something Packers and Raiders fans alike will look forward to seeing. But, I think they've always been comrades on the field and off. So, I really hope Tay is healthy after his shoulder injury. And if you have two people that have kind of been wrecked with injuries and whatnot, come out hungry, let there be a show.
Yeah. I mean, the whole Packers and Raiders rosters are injury prone right now. So last time I saw Jimmy Garoppolo was still in concussion protocol. So we'll see about that.
Whoever's writing the script for this season, I mean, it's been an interesting
ride
so far.
Yeah. I saw that we're favorites for Monday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I saw that too.
I think it changed. I don't know.
Did it change yesterday?
I
feel like it's been.
So I recorded it right there. I just didn't catch it.
I'm gonna have to take a look.
Yeah. What is the most disliked rivalry teams in all of the sports you like?
I am so biased, and it sounds cliche, but I can't stand the Bears for many reasons. Though I used to live in Chicago, went to Chicago for college, I won't say it, I strongly dislike the Cubs and their fans.
Yeah.
Just, please no. And I'm not the biggest Boston Celtics fan. I don't know why. I'm not.
No, yeah, it makes sense.
The Bulls, I'd say I complete the trifecta. I'm cool with the Bulls. The Bulls have a great history. I mean, come on. I respect them. The Cubs, when they come to Miller Park, AmFam, whatever, I just don't like them. They don't like us, so.
Yeah, makes sense. It works. The Bears. What do you think about What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' statements about Jordan Love owning the Bears again? The rivalry continuing, or the ownership. being
I
taken
thought it was
over.
a cool thing. I mean, I don't have any doubt that those two don't communicate it. I'm sure, they've gone back and forth. I think it is interesting, um, reflecting on how Barb left with Rogers, and kind of there was a little disconnect, if you will, or it just seemed a little colder than I'd hoped in that transition. I can see Rogers throwing in one of his kind of dry humored responses and a little bit of encouragement, and I think that's of him, and that shows, you know, that's just any little boost to help someone brand new in such a high impact role like a new quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I mean, I'm happy for that reaction, and I hope Love was too.
I do have to say, I'm sorry, Jets fans, for taking your number 2 pick for draft.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I would prefer the first pick, but it is what it is. We all, like Leroy Butler said, we always have great wide receivers in the second round.
You're very right.
So, and I think we need more, personally. That's just... For Monday's night's game against the Raiders, speaking of the Raiders, who are your key players to winning this game?
I really... Love's gonna have to do his thing, but it's gonna rest on the O-line to protect him.
Yep.
I can't say the Raiders are very good, but I think they need to learn from some mistakes last week.
No, definitely.
And I would just like to see our defense come out the cage and just rattle them up a bit. And that ties in, with John Money, but also my other favorite that plays with a lot of heart, Rashawn Gary.
Yep.
Let him show a little aggression.
Yep.
And, I'm really a big fan of our receiving core. So if, that connection between Reed and Love continues to blossom, and Watson rocks it.
Yeah. A lot of keep saying Love to Dobbs is like the Adams to Rodgers connection. And you can see that starting.
You can see
very
that.
Slowly, but...
Things take time to develop, but
that's true. For me, Dobbs is like a Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams, like, combination. And, like, a little bit of Garber. And a little bit of Garber. Right. I do that, definitely.
He's got speed and he's got hoops, so, seeing him catch the ball and stuff in that zone. And
especially the goal against the Saints when we won. The crazy comeback.
That's right.
What is your stat line production for Devontae Adams?
He's been so all over the board. But I think if he plays, my thought was 95 yards, 5 receptions on 5 targets. And if things heat up, I could see him, if he's healthy and hungry, he could get a touchdown. But I think if he's matched against Ja's gonna win the battle. Sorry, Tay, but...
No, how about Rasul? Rasul.
I'm waiting for him to really get momentum, because I'm a big fan of his. I think he's capable of... You think so? That's a good call.
I'm confident. Sorry, JR. Love you too.
Love you.
We love the whole team. Well, yeah. What games are you going to watch during the bye week when the Packers aren't playing? So week 6 coming up.
Great question. Definitely, Vikings Bears.
Oh god.
Because.
Yeah.
Just, I have my reasons, but come on, besides the divisional rivals, just seeing whatever happens.
Yeah.
And then I'm really interested, if you want a good game, is when the Eagles come to the Jets. And you have a powerhouse of the Eagles who are not to be messed with right now.
Right.
Strolling onto the Jets' turf, and good East Coast battle. See what happens there.
Where are the Broncos playing? Are they playing anyone?
Yeah.
That would be a good one to watch too. I didn't look at it.
Yeah.
Because we play the Broncos after week 7, so that would be perfect.
Yeah, our schedule's pretty interesting after our bye.
No, yeah, definitely. I'm glad that we got it. Like, I'm glad that we have a mini bye right now. you might not like this one. I'm not sure who your favorite player is, actually. No, I don't know. What do you think of all the hate that AJ Dillon is getting? Do you think he will get traded? I know a lot of people have him getting traded to the Colts for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that's certainly been a hot topic. For me, I try to keep my emotions out of things, but it's hard as a Packer fan. I will always root for him. I think sometimes people have slower starts. I wouldn't even say it's slow. Maybe it's not up to our standards. That's a big thing. But that being said, he's just got again, my favorite word. You could ask anyone that watches a game with me. I always shout momentum. Like, get some good things going and it's going to trickle on.
Yeah.
And let him in the next couple games cook a little bit. He always shines in the cooler temperatures. I don't know if that's an actual thing. But you know what? Let him, hopefully he's taken this time to watch film and see what he could be doing differently. And there's going to be that one game that I think comes up that he's himself. I don't think there should be any talk of trade. No.
Yeah. Watch it be the Chiefs or something.
Wouldn't that be something?
Because, it's the Colt game, so. And it's at Lambeau, so.
That's right.
Jonathan Taylor said he didn't want to get traded anyways, so.
Right, so why put your eggs in that basket when it's not even
See, I kind of wanted it
thing.
for the Wisconsin basis.
True, he's got those Badger ties.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to play at Lambeau originally. Same with Claypool. He wanted to play with Rodgers, I know, so.
And he just went to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Right, so I think he's going to enjoy that. I got another fun thing to add to our NFL script this year.
No more.
No more.
Speaking of NFL script, if you know it,
Yeah.
who do you think is going to win each division in the whole league? So like
I fully think the Packers, once we really heat up, it's gonna happen. I gotta hand it to the Eagles. I think they're scary.
Yeah.
But if it's not them, my eyes are also on San Fran. They worry me and the Chiefs.
Yep.
I'm thinking about some of these heavy hitters, and anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You could be hot one week, and the next 3 weeks, you lose track of what you're doing. But I say keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on San Fran, Eagles. But I have faith. I have kind of a feeling. Let's see what happens with our team. We stay healthy. It's a young team, but when you're young, you have stuff to prove, right?
So out of NFC South, who do you have winning? That's the Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a tough one. Not really.
Falcons are confusing me, so I maybe go left field and say Saints. They're not the best, but what if they want to do what they do? I wouldn't be surprised.
AFC North. These are hard.
Buffalo. Maybe.
AFC East. I'm assuming Chiefs or Chargers. That'd be good.
I'd say it's Chiefs. Hands down.
AFC South.
AFC South. Tampa Bay.
Wait, that's NFC. Tampa's.
Oh, that's NFC. I'm sorry. AFC. Who do I have to pick from?
That's what I'm looking it up right now.
I thought I had it.
No, it's not the Patriots. Who is it? Wait, who is it? I'm confused. Google. AFC South. Okay. Colts, Texans, Titans, and Jaguars.
Oh, I have Colts. That was on my original list. Yeah. Kind of predictable, but I don't see the Titans doing much. But that's the beauty of it. It'll be nice to revisit, see where we go wrong.
This would be a fun podcast to listen to after the thing.
Yes.
Are we missing AFC North? Who are we missing? We're missing one of them. We did West.
Did we do the Browns division?
No.
I have Browns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably
pick
do
Browns.
Ravens though.
Yeah, Ravens have some juice.
Watson's out right now. I see Raiders or Ravens. But also they have Za'Darius Smith on the Browns, so I don't know.
That's right. No more Smith Bros. I'd like to have Preston Smith have a nice game. Just going back to defensive thought.
Yeah.
Just adding that into my basket.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a good one. Sack. I say have a sack. You already mentioned 31. This was a fun. I know you kind of answered this on Twitter already. Out of all the Packers coaches, who is most likely to do what? Bisaccia, LaFleur, and Joe Barry. I know you.
Oh my gosh. I did. I think I answered that a couple times. I think one of my favorites was Matt LaFleur, most likely to try to set his son up with the much younger cart girl at his country club, adamantly. The stuff I was seeing about both Joe and Rich had me literally, I was laughing so hard. I was out at dinner, I was reading this. I was like, oh my gosh. It was like, for Rich, he's the most likely to have a barbecue at his house and yell at you to take your shoes off if you're going in to use the can. You know, it's just that guy, he's like super defensive over his grilling. You know, don't get mudded in the house. And oh my gosh, I think someone said something about Joe. I mean, there's too many, but like worst. I think what I had was like, oh, the worst political science teacher you could have, or someone's family member that's super judgy and always causing a problem, or I don't know if it was Barry or Rich. I was like, they're the ones at a coffee shop that as soon as the barista spins around the iPad to put a tip, they start making a commotion and complaining and embarrassing his wife and like everyone in the coffee shop. You expect me to tip because you want me to get a coffee?
I think Barry do that. Or Bisaccia. I don't know though. That's confusing.
That's been a whole hot topic. Why do I have to tip? You're just spinning this around. It's not good for everybody.
So I have a few questions left. So if you could choose one Packer legend to stay in their prime time for entirely, which player would that be and why? This one's hard.
I'm kind of going to go left field here, defensive. I'm going to say Clay Matthews.
Ooh.
I'm a huge Clay Matthews fan. Fun to watch, just a beast on the field. We could have had him for a couple more years where he was just disruptive, flipping his hair. I mean, come on, he was the Glamazon of Green Bay. So, would love to have him back.
No
In
Sterling
his
Sharp.
prime.
No Sterling Sharp.
Girl, I mean, Sterling Sharp's up there. Again, my guy Jordy. I could go on and on. Again, we are so blessed to have the. Yeah, we have so many people. We are so blessed for the past 30 years.
We have Driver.
Mm-hmm. I loved when
Butler would be good on this Packers team.
Leroy Butler, Antonio Freeman.
Yes.
Is another favorite of mine.
Hawk was good.
AJ Hawk. Yes, absolutely.
I have the last question. What is your Packers Raiders game prediction?
Well, I saw ESPN gave us a 54.6% chance to win, and I definitely think we're going to err on the winning side. My gut tells me it's going to be 24-14. Okay. I think we're going to get some good action as far as on our offense. I think Jordan's going to have a couple tutties. I think we'll be able to turn the ball over. And I think we'll be smooth on special teams. I just see things coming together, and we're going to get, again, Lee loves momentum, and we'll be able to shut them down. And I think it'll be a great, great Monday night event for everyone to watch.
I think it's going to be a popular Monday night. That's the only game that's playing. Mm-hmm. So we have audience again. Speaking of special teams, what do you think about the brothers matchup? this game, the Carlsons brothers.
Oh, I'm excited. I know
Your brother.
the brother, yeah. I know Matt LaFleur was having some fun in the locker room
Yeah.
with our kicker, and I hope he didn't get in his head too much to be
I know.
worrisome about the matchup. But I love a good sibling rivalry, and it'll be fun.
Do we have another one? No, we don't have any more. I mean, we have like
I don't think
MVS
so.
and Kenny Clark, but that'd be fun. That's gonna be a fun matchup. MVS and Kenny Clark, like all the trash talk again. That's gonna be fun.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
And that was all my questions I have. Do you have any?
I'm sure I do. I really hope we do something like this again. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure chatting with you and kind of having you and hopefully everyone get to know a little bit more than me besides my goofy tweets. And just know I'm a Packer fan, but, you know, I love to be kind to others
Yeah.
and kind of spread joy whenever you can. And I think a lot of that's due to laughter and just making sure people know that connectivity is one of the most powerful things you can do.
Yeah, I love that message. And if you want to be on, just let me know. You know my Twitter. You've contacted me many times. It's actually funny because I was looking up how we actually met, and it turns out you DM'd me first
Yeah.
by doing the event. Yep, by doing the Twitter event.
That is so awesome. And you're doing great things on the platform. Just continue doing what you can. And I am happy to get more ears and eyes on your podcast. You have such a cool thing going.
Yeah.
So
I think I might try to get like Leroy Butler or someone, like a player.
you should. Hey, I'll try to put in a good word.
Can you? Wait, can you? I would love that.
Oh, we'll see. We'll
Like, if
see.
you can, that'd be perfect.
Hey, whatever I can do. Again,
Yeah,
everyone
I just want more
uplifting
people.
others.
No, I just want more people, like in general. Like,
We'll make it work, Mary.
yeah, perfect. Here,
Alrighty.